Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14 here to preview Missouri's road trip to Arkansas. This game Friday, not Saturday. You can catch it at 3 Central on CBS, where it seems like Missouri has been playing a lot of its games of late. Our friends at BetOnline have Arkansas as a 7.5-point favorite with a 54.5-point over-under, making Missouri a 31-24 predicted winner in that one. Various computers have this one a little closer. Sagarin has got Missouri a 4-point favorite, FPI, Missouri a 7-point favorite, SP Plus, Missouri an 8-point favorite, and the same with team rankings. This one a lot closer, according to computers in Vegas, than the records would make you think, Blake.
Yeah, but I think that's just because of how the history has gone with some of these games. 29-27 last year, 50-48 in 20. They had the 48-45 game in 2017, 28-24, 2016, 7-point game in 14. So, like, you look at the last 10 games these two teams have played. Now, Missouri's won 8 of those. But, yeah, they've had some pretty wild games. So, I mean, listen, when we get to this point in the season, we know, like, we could probably look back to last year. I'm thinking of, like, the A&M LSU game, and we just know that that's how it goes sometimes in this, final week of the regular season. And so even with Arkansas down, some key guys, and Missouri just churning right along here, I'm not stunned that this is a closer spread than you would think just based off the records. Because, again, we've said – I think Arkansas is better than the record indicates, just because of how many close games they played. So if you're leaning on that, I can understand why the computers and our friends in Vegas would perhaps think the same thing.
Yeah, Arkansas has had this odd habit of sometimes showing up really strong when you least expect it. And number 2, Sam Pittman, it was announced that he will get another year, which was something in a lot of question even a couple of weekends ago, as rumors swirled that he was going to be let go from that position. So there's also that going in. This podcast is brought to you by our friends at BetOnline. The holiday season is off and rolling with NFL in full stride, the NBA and NHL hitting midseason form. BetOnline is your number one destination for all your sports wagering info with up-to-the-minute sports wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. BetOnline is the top spot for everything pro and amateur sports, not just the Big Four. BetOnline has info available at your fingertips with both desktop and mobile access at any time for any sport that is played, from MMA to international soccer. Head to BetOnline today. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that is BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. We will start when Missouri's got the ball. The Tigers averaging 32.8 points a game. Arkansas giving up 28.1. Going to give you the stats per rushing and passing plays. Remember, that counts sacks as passing plays. Missouri 5 yards a rushing play. Arkansas giving up 4.9 per there. Missouri averaging 8.5 yards a passing play under Brady Cook. Missouri giving up 6.6 turnovers. This is a big thing that I've got my eye on here, Blake. I think if Arkansas is going to be in this game, it's going to have to force turnovers, which it's done a good job of. 2.5% of the time, Arkansas has forced turnovers on snaps this year, and Missouri, however, turning it over to just 1.1% of the time. Not sure, but I think that is the lowest turnover rate in the league. Missouri's been so consistent. It is scoring between 30 and 39 points almost every game. It has got a run-pass balance that's really what you want. It runs the ball 52% of the time. Cody Schrader is having a great year. We've talked about Brady Cook and Luther Burden. And Missouri's only been sacked about 20 times, which is a pretty good number. I think Arkansas, what it is banking on here is forcing turnovers. But Missouri has found balance on both sides. It runs the ball well, it passes the ball well, and it doesn't turn the ball over. And that has really been one reason that Missouri has been so good. It's just that consistency and hanging on to the ball and finding balance there, Blake.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think it's pretty simple. In this particular matchup, in terms of the offense versus the defense, it's forcing turnovers because we've seen what can happen. Arkansas has done that consistently. We've seen, how that can give them a chance to keep games close and put themselves in a position where we know there's been a lot of frustration offensively this year. But that's helped, alleviate some of that. And yeah, I mean, what else do you say about Missouri offensively, right? I mean, it's Luther Burden does what he does. He had the stretch early in the season where he had what, 5 straight games of 114 or more receiving yards. Goes down a little bit the last several games, and then he pops up for 9 for 158 against Florida. Theo Weiss caught the one catch for 77 yards against Florida in the touchdown, but he's had some big games along the way. You mentioned Schrader. Just think about how ridiculous these numbers are. You think about Arkansas on the other side, right? Talk about a team we thought coming into the season would be running the ball at this kind of rate and this kind of production. Look at what Missouri's done. Like Schrader, 148 the last game, 205 the game against Tennessee, which of course he had 116 receiving yards too, 112 against Georgia, 159 against South Carolina. You just keep going on down the line here. Yeah, he's been outstanding. And then Brady Cook, of course, is the guy that makes everything go. And I guess the one thing you could point out if you're looking at this from Arkansas' standpoint, Brady Cook's only got 6 interceptions on the season, but keep in mind, 6 of those have come in the last 5-6 games, I think. So he's had a couple clean sheets in there, but threw 1 against Tennessee, threw 2 against Georgia, 1 against Kentucky, 2 against LSU. A couple of those are on the road too. So I think that's the one thing you're looking at with Arkansas. Like you said, they've got to get pressure, which they've done this season. They've got to force turnovers, which they've done this season. If they can keep doing that, it'll make this game a lot more interesting.
On the other side of the matchup, Arkansas averaging 27.7 points a game, Missouri giving up 23. Rushing plays, Arkansas getting 4.4 per play, Missouri giving up 4.7. Passing plays, the numbers for the Arkansas offense, 5.8. Missouri's defense, 6.3. Turnover rate, exactly 1.8% for both. But here's what's kind of interesting. Arkansas has been sacked 42 times. Missouri has sacked the quarterback 30 times. We've talked about that awful offensive line performance for Arkansas that has been such a surprise. I'm not going to say Missouri's been dominant in that area, but 30 sacks is pretty good. And controlling the line of scrimmage has just been something that's given Arkansas fits on that side of the ball. And Missouri's defense, not great, but good. And Arkansas is going to have its hands full to manufacture some points here.
Well, and we know they're without, 2 running backs too now, since that was announced with Sanders and Dominion both out for the rest of the way. And so, yeah, I mean, so that, takes that part out of the equation. But like you said, with the offensive line, the way it's been a struggle to get anything going there anyways. And if you look at the, sack numbers for KJ Jefferson, if you take out the FIU game, he's been sacked at least 4 times in every SEC game. And then he got sacked 4 times against BYU. So during that stretch of games outside of the win against Florida that they lost all those other games, sacked at least 4 times in those. And like you said, Missouri, certainly a team that could put up those same kind of numbers and get 4 sacks or more in this. So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting just to see, again, if Arkansas can get anything going here because – as I said earlier, that's been the story of the season, right? It's just, can this team consistently put anything together offensively? It's been a very frustrating year. As we know, aside from that game against Florida, you go up and down the line, you sort of look at the numbers, and yeah, there's just a lot to be desired there. So Missouri's defense has been good, as we've said. Now they have played some higher scoring games, but their offense has been able to, get them out of situations where maybe they're not perfect in every area in every game, but still, they've been good enough to lead them to where they are right now. So, yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what other word you say, Chris, other than Arkansas's offense is unpredictable. I mean, I don't really know, the expectation for the output. And again, you're taking out, 2 guys in the backfield, and you're putting everything on KJ Jefferson, like it's sort of been all year long, and see what happens here in a regular season finale at home. So.
2 other things to consider: penalty yards. Both teams being penalized 55 yards a game. Special teams, Arkansas has been very good. SP Plus ranks its special teams unit 9th in the country. Missouri's only 58th, but I put an asterisk to that. Harrison Mevis has kicked 2 field goals on the last play of the game to win them games. So Missouri's special teams in that regard have really shown up when needed. Look, Missouri, the performance has waned a little bit at times. You go back to that MTSU game in week 2, and then you go back to Florida, a game that Missouri probably should have won by more than it did. But those are kind of the exceptions to the rule, Blake. This team has been as consistent week in and week out as anybody in the SEC. Missouri has everything to play for in this regard with the New Year's Six Bowl at stake. Arkansas really just playing for pride at this point. And I like Missouri to win this one here, even if it is on the road.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is one of those where I would be a little hesitant just because of how some of these games have unfolded and how close they've been. But again, Missouri has, been the team that's won more of these games recently, as we've seen. Like I said, I'm just looking at the last 10. I'm sure you go further than that, but the last 10, we know it's 8-2 in Missouri's favor. And like I said, a lot of those games have been close. There have been some other games that have not been close. And what's interesting is like the spread for these games has just been all across the board. You've had some of these low spreads. You've had some of these that are, two touchdowns or more and all that. Chris, this is tough here. You know why? Because this is like, the
Right.
two children.
Like picking your favorite child.
This is the two children of the Southeastern 14 YouTube channel. We love our Arkansas fans. We love our Missouri fans. We love everyone else, but we know those two are like our, they are our children. You're having to choose between the best ones here. All I can say is you both mean the world to me. I would do anything for you, but Missouri, you're the one getting the allowance today. Because I'm gonna go with the Tigers here. But I mean, again, I've said it all season long. I said it took a while for people to jump on the Missouri bandwagon, but I think you could see early on this team, they're not 9-2 by luck. They didn't get here by accident. They are a very good team. They are deserving of a top 10 ranking. But I will say all that to tell you that even though I'm picking Missouri, don't be surprised if, this is one of those games that, again, we just kind of see in the series seemingly every other year or so where wild Friday type game, and we'll see how it plays out. So
it is Thanksgiving week, and we are thankful for both.
That's right.
Fervent Missouri and Arkansas fan bases here at this channel. All right. Good luck to both teams in this one. I'm going to enjoy watching it. We're going to preview every single SEC game this weekend. Best way to get those, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. That helps out our analytics. For Blake Lovell, I'm Chris Lee. We're Southeastern 14. God bless you. Thank you for watching. This has been Southeastern 14, presented by BetOnline.